Hi, my name is Nick, the Turbine Cowboy, and today I want to tell you about my first climb. It was June of 2019. In fact, today is about 2 years from the day of my first climb. I was about to embark on one of my first tasks, and that was to prove I could actually climb these towers. I had always been timid of heights my whole life, but not enough to keep me from going on a roller coaster or standing on the edge of a cliff. Something was different about the thought of doing it every day for a living. So when I was handed the equipment that ultimately would keep me up there and not on the ground, I was reminded of a race car driver's seatbelt. It was heavy and had straps going this way and that. It looked like someone had stitched together a whole bunch of seatbelts. I was taught how to inspect and wear it properly, and the excitement of climbing the tower for the first time was ever present in my mind. I could hardly focus. I always considered myself pretty active, but climbing vertically 350 feet in the air, I knew would be no small feat. When it was time to drive to the tower, my heart was already beating higher than normal. For the second time, we check my equipment, and my climb partner performs a second check just to make sure everything is solid before we enter the tower. From the outside, the white structure is enormous, and it almost seems to defy physics just by standing straight up. But inside, the ladder on which I was to climb was barely wider than my shoulders. We practiced attaching and detaching my equipment from the safety of the ground, and before long, they think I'm ready to climb. I take a few deep breaths and try to remember everything I've learned in the last 30 minutes. Step off on the deck, close the hatch, close the gate, take off my fall arrest, and call down to let the next person know that I'm clear. The second deck is only about 20 feet above the first, and it doesn't take long before I make it there. No big deal, and my partner comes up behind me. We do a brief check-in, and the excitement of what's waiting for me at the top is still building. Although this time, the next deck is significantly higher than the last. And this is the time they remind you that if you're even a little timid, don't look down while you're climbing. It's a hot summer day, but you can feel the heat of the sun baking you from the other side of the metal tube. You're sweating not because of the exercise, but because of the heat. I flawlessly reattach to the ladder, going through the mental checklist of the proper way to use the equipment. The sooner I get this done, the sooner I'll be able to rest. At the next deck, my heart is pounding. This time it's not because of the thrill. The thought starts to settle in. I'm going to have to do this every single day as long as I work here. My arms begin to feel heavy as if weighted with sandbags, and my legs, although holding me upright, are begging me to stop. I came here to be a technician, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. Every step is a conscious battle. Just keep going, I tell myself. You've pushed yourself further. One more step, and then another. And after what feels like an eternity, there's the last hatch. Maybe it was because of the lack of oxygen or the heat, but I swear the last step was golden and it was shining. I've made it, I tell myself as my heart pounds away and the sweat rolls down my face and gets in my eyes. It burns, but I don't care. I did what I came here to do, and more than anything else, I proved to myself that I was ready to be a tower climber. The yaw deck is still hot, and my partner and I waddle on our bellies into the nacelle because as if there weren't enough steps on the ladder, there's 5 more to get to the nacelle. My first few moments are bewilderment. As I look around to see all the things that make this thing make power that goes through our homes and our factories, a miniature power station on a glorified soda can. Without much respite, my partner opens the roof hatch and invites me back to the outside world. Only this time, it's in the sky. It's all surreal, and it's like nothing I've ever done or ever seen in my life. I can see in every direction. The very curve of the earth as the mountains and the prairie arch down below my line of sight. The breeze cools my skin, and silently all around me are the turbines, just like the one I'm standing on, harnessing that breeze that's cooling me and delivering power to countless people. There's so much to see when you can see everything. I'm walking back and forth, leapfrogging my lanyards, taking it all in as my partner points out the landmarks that otherwise would go unnoticed among everything else there was to see. I had made it, and every day I open that hatch and view the world from above, I'm reminded that that day was worth all of it. If you're interested in joining this industry or you have questions, please reach out to me at TheTurbineCowboy@gmail.com or comment your questions below. Once again, I'm Nick, the Turbine Cowboy, and thank you for watching my video.